We are live. Today we're talking about destroying anxiety. It's going to be freaking awesome. This started from my own journey with battling anxiety. I should probably wait just a minute for a couple people to hop on here. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. Pumped up to have you guys.
You could explain the anxious to action.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Today we're talking about the Anxious to Action Challenge. It's going to be a fun time. I'm doing that next week. It's going to be pumped up. This conversation is based on is destroying anxiety. A lot of people have to deal with it. It's no fun. It sucks. I hate it. You hate it. We all hate it. I'm going to be talking a lot about anxiety today, specifically destroying anxiety, the process that I love that really helps you go into your body, pull it out of you, and then destroy it in front of you. It's a really fun time. It's kind of counterintuitive way to attack anxiety. I learned this from my own experience with anxiety, actually. We work with a lot of people, helping them beat anxiety. But I also learned this myself over the last couple years, 3 years, started a few companies and surprise, surprise, anxiety, it hits. It's something I've struggled with myself over the last year or so probably. And so had to learn and figure out a way to help people battling anxiety, help myself, help other people, all that kind of stuff. So what I've actually developed is this emotional release process. Anxiety is an emotion, a powerful emotion, but it nonetheless is an emotion. And so when we are working with people who have anxiety, we work them through this. And the first thing you got to do is name it. Name it to tame it. So I named my anxiety Mamba. Where I'm from, there is a roller coaster called the Mamba. And if you are familiar with anxiety, it mirrors excitement. And so when you're going up a roller coaster, the feelings you get, like the tight chest, the sweaty palms, all that kind of stuff, are the same concept as far as anxiety goes. And so that's really where the name Mamba came from. As I was struggling with panic attacks and things like that myself, not fun, pain in the ass. I don't think anybody likes panic attacks or anxiety. So that's really something that I had to struggle with and work with on myself. So I named it the Mamba. And so every time Mamba comes around, I'm like, what is up, Mamba? Thank you so much for showing up today. You're here to protect me. Like, you're here to do something. Thank you so much. I would really, really love to have a conversation with you, right? And so that's how I really started dealing with anxiety at first, name it, tame it. And then I took it through this emotional release process. So the first thing that you do is you name it, right? So the Mamba, that's identifying it and picturing that and coming up with a metaphor or a picture you could have in your head. And you got to find it in your body. So a lot of the times people don't realize this, but emotions are in your head. Right? They are, they're not in your head. They're in your body. You think they're in your head. You process them in your head, but they're in your body. And so when I was working with my own anxiety, I realized that holy crap, I'm trying to process this stuff in my head, but I need to find it in my body so I can get more in tune with that and more comfortable with that. And so I did. And as I did that, I was able to start to get more control over my anxiety and be able to deal with it more effectively. And so the first thing you've got to do is identify the anxiety and find it in your body. So where is it at? Is it in your chest? Is it in your neck? Is it in your shoulders? In your lower back? Where are you feeling it? Is it like over the back of your head and front and behind your eyes? Where do you feel the anxiety? That's step number one, right? Find it in your body, then rate it 0 out of 10, 0 out of 10, right? 10 being the worst, 0 being it's gone. Okay, so that's the second step. And then the next thing we're going to do is destroy it. This is the fun part. Just getting to destroy anxiety is a fun time when you're thinking about how to deal with this, right? So once you find it, you destroy it. So I told you to identify it earlier, right? And so you find that where it's at in your body, and then you picture, okay, cool, this is kind of where it's at. This is what I'm doing with it. And then try and think about, like, what does it look like? What does it look like when you are when you're working with this? When you're picturing it in your head? What's the mental representation you have in your head of this anxiety? Is it you like, oh, like tight? Is it like you all clenched up? What is the picture you have in yourself in your head? Is it a color? Is it a shape? Is it a sound? What is it? That's one of the first things. That's the third step, is figuring out where that metaphor is. And then what you're going to do is you close your eyes. You wherever in your body you find it. So let's pretend you find it in your chest. You imagine it floating out of your chest, out of the top of your head, put it in front of you, whatever it is, put it right in front of you, and then destroy it by whatever means necessary. And that's the fun part. I've done like fireballs out of my hands. I've done laser beams. I've done so many different ways that you can destroy it. But that's the biggest picture way that you can you pull it out, right? And then you put it in front of you and you destroy it. Once it's destroyed, what you want to do is sit back and be like, okay, where am I at? What does it feel like? Where am I at? And how would I rate this 0 to 10? Most of the time when you go through this, when you go through this, every time you go through the whole thing, it'll drop down a point or two. So let's pretend at the very beginning you rated it like an 8. Your anxiety is at an 8, right? When you do this process, you'll probably get to like a 6 or maybe a 5 the first time. Then as you keep moving through this, you'll be able to slowly but surely get it to 0, right? And so what you want to do is you repeat, right? So until it gets to a 0, you keep going through this process. So sometimes people feel it in their chest at first. They pull it out of them, they put it in front of them, they destroy the anxiety, and then they go back into their body like, okay, now it's in my shoulders. I'm like, okay, cool. Find the metaphor, pull it over, right? Or pull it out in front of your face, destroy it again, re-rate it again. And that's the big picture process or strategy. You repeat that over and over and over again until you're at a 0. So that is the big picture strategy. I've had great success with this with myself. And using this to help me beat panic attacks. I don't know if anybody else has struggles with panic attacks, but that's absolutely something that I've dealt with before. They're not fun. But being able to use this allows you to get out of your mind and into your body, and allows you to pull these things out and into physical reality so you can destroy them. So this is something we're actually going to talk about in our Anxious to Action Challenge. We're doing an Anxious to Action Challenge starting next Monday with a group of people. If you'd like to jump into that group, go over to our profile. It's literally, the link is right there. You can just go click on the link and check out our Anxious to Action Challenge. It'll be a fun time. It'll be a fun little group, but it's really, really focused on getting people who are anxious, stressed, depressed, overthinking, overwhelmed, whether it's struggling with narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, burnout, whatever it is. They're anxious. They don't know what moves to make, and they want to get into action. But how? Confidence, right? How do you build back your confidence, your self-esteem? And so that's what you really want to be able to do. And that's what this challenge is for. It's a 5-day challenge. It'll be next week. It starts on, go to our profile, click the link, sign up. It'll be a fun time. Love to see you there. Pumped up. Got some people signing up already today. So would love to see you guys there. And that will be, oh, hell yeah. What's up, Minnie? Freaking hope you're doing well. It's been a minute, but this is a process, this emotional release process, something we'll go in depth in, and I'll teach you more. I'll give you a framework for it in the Anxious to Action Challenge. So check that out. It's on our profile. Today, I did want to be able to take people through this. Should I take people through it once, you think? I think so. Being able to go through these yourself. So if you're on with us right now, where you are the select few that gets to go through this with us right now, because anyone else that jumps on is going to jump on in the middle, and it's going to be weird for them. Okay, so what I want you guys to be able to do is to get familiar with your environment, shake yourself out a little bit, sit back wherever you are. If you're at work, go to the bathroom, right, and get to a place where you can chill. Shake your body out a little bit. Get familiar with your environment. Okay, I'm going to start talking slower. And we're going to walk through this process together. Okay. So if you are anxious right now, or you're having some type of crazy emotion or something that you want to work on, this is the moment. Put that in your mind right now. Take a deep breath. Sit down, sink into your body. Put your feet on the ground. Really feel your feet on the floor. Feel your butt in your chair. Sit there for a moment. Sink into the feeling. Okay. Now, what I want you to do, we just talked about this, is identify the emotion you're struggling with. If it's anxiety, that's okay. Identify the emotion. Find it in your body. So close your eyes. Take a minute and close your eyes. Search your body. Find the emotion you're struggling with. Find it in your body. Is it your shoulders? Is it in your jaw? Do you have a tight jaw? Pressure behind your eyes? Is your chest tight? Is your lower back tight? What's going on? Where do you feel it? Identify the emotion, identify it, find it in your body. Think about the metaphor. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Is it a specific color? Does it sound like something? Does it smell like something? Does it taste like something? Does it feel like something? Find it in your body. Think about it. Okay. Now rate that emotion, rate the thing that you found in your body from 0 to 10. Say it out loud or put it in the comments. Where are you at right now? Put it in the comments where you're at right now. Okay? Rate it from 0 to 10. Okay, now what I want you to do with your eyes closed is to take that emotion wherever it is in your body. Imagine it is floating out from whatever place it is in your body. Pull it out through the top of your head, and imagine it's floating right in front of you, whether it's a picture of you, whether it's a picture of a color, a sound, it could be a rabbit, it could be anything you want it to be that represents your anxiety or the stress or whatever emotion it is. Put it in front of you, and then have some fun. Destroy it, blow it up in some way, like shoot lasers out of your eyes, like whatever you want to do to just blow it up and dissipate it. All right, so destroy it right now. Blow it up. Okay. And then sink back into your body. Once you've blown it up, sink back into your body and find the emotion that you just destroyed, find it again in your body and re-rate it. Where's it at now? Now that you've pulled it out of that piece of your body, put it in front of you and destroyed it, where's it at? Where would you rate yourself at now? Is it a point or two less? Is it still the same? Where are you at? Okay. We're going to go back through. I'm going to do this a couple of times. I would suggest that you guys do it as many times as you need to be able to get the relief that you're looking for. Gwen blew it up with the laser. I love it. Cool. Yeah. Put how you blew it up in the comments. That'd be fun to talk about. I use a laser a lot too. Some people like to dissipate it into light or energy. It just depends. All right. We're going to go through it again. So now that you've re-rated yourself, we're going to go through and find the emotion again. Is it in the same place in your body? Is it a different place in your body? A lot of times it moves. So once you destroy it in one place, sometimes it'll move. So that's okay. If it's at a different spot, that's okay. Find it and re-rate yourself. Okay, so I'll take a minute, re-rate yourself. Okay, find the picture. What does it look like, sound like, feel like, smell like? Is there a color? Is there a shape? Is there a size? Is it close to you? Is it far away from you? Okay, refine it, make the picture, and then we're going to rate it again. Okay, so rate it again. Gwen's at a 2. Thank you very much. Okay, and now what you're going to do is pull it out of your body again. Whatever part of your body it's in, pull that emotion, that energy out from wherever it is in your body, up through your neck, out the top of your head, in front of your face, and then blow it up. Whether it's like heat coming out of your hands, if it's lightning bolts that are coming down, if it's like a giant grenade you're throwing, whatever, destroy it. Just destroy the emotion, blow it up. Give you a minute to do that. Okay. Now re-rate yourself again. Where are you at? Lower. Generally, people go a couple points lower. Typically, when I do this, I go down 2, 3, 4, 2 or 3 points every time every time I do this. So if that's you, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, we're not going to go through it again. Typically, I'd go through this. I mean, usually when I'm using this for myself, when I'm working with a client, we'll go until we get to 0. If you want to keep going until you get to 0, please do. Sometimes it goes point by point. Today, I really just want to give you an example of how this would work, how you can go through it. So the steps, again, if you want to talk about this, are identify it, right? So identify it and find it in your body, number 1. 2 is rate the emotion, rate the feeling, rate the emotion. Number 3, 5 to 1. Okay, nice. Gwen got 5 to 1. Beautiful. Coming from Facebook's Todd got to a 7. Hell yeah, good work. Okay, so identify, find it in your body, rate it, pull it out of your body and destroy it, rate it again, and then repeat until you get to 0. Just 5 steps. 5-step emotional release process to destroy anxiety. Like you could really destroy anything. I personally have been using it for anxiety, and that's what we're going to be talking about in our Anxious to Action Challenge coming up on Monday. I love it. We got some people got hearts and fire emojis. All right, so I'm going to do some Q&A now. I've got tons of comments coming in from all over the place here. Ask me some questions. I'm going to do a couple minutes of Q&A. We're going to be doing, I'm doing a couple rounds of this kind of stuff. I think I've got about like 6 minutes to do some Q&A and stuff. Gwen's helping me keep track of time. So ask any questions you guys have. I'd love to understand What are you guys struggling with? I'll try and look at some of the ones that I've already got. Can you say hi, Elena? Meditation, managing cortisol levels is key. It's a good point. You think of someone's energy? Yep. Light treatment is dangerous. 18 minutes on YouTube. What? Light treatment is not dangerous. I'd recommend education on neuroscience. It's about chemical imbalance in the brain. Nice. I would recommend an education in neuroscience too. That's what we aim to do at the Old Mind Brain Body Lab. So Moon Cat, I would agree. There's some interesting research that's recently come out about chemical imbalance. It's not just chemical imbalance. It's also, it's more than just that, right? There's also tons of other contributing factors like genetics and your environment and all sorts of different things like that as well. So keep that in mind. Any other questions about the process? We got anything going on over here? I love that.
Make sure to read them out loud because other people can't see.
Right, yeah. So I was just reading one. Destroy anxiety. Love that. Recreate hero's journey narrative. Hell yeah. We're all about the hero's journey here at Rewrite and Rise. Mind Brain Body Lab. Gotta love it. Any other questions about the emotional release process or anxiety? What are your guys' biggest questions about anxiety? What do you guys struggle with? What keeps you up at night? What makes it hard? What makes it easy? I work with people with like terrible anxiety. How can you tell where it is in your body? A freaking great question. How can you tell? Who asked this? Let's see. Echo. So Echo asked, how can you tell or tell where it is in your body, where anxiety is in your body? So really what you got to do is be able to drop out of your head for a moment, which is hard. People who have anxiety a lot of the time struggle they process in their head more than they do in their body. And so anxiety shows up in your body in a couple of ways. So tightness is a huge body signal, right? So it could be a tight chest. Your palms could get sweaty. Sometimes people get shaky. If just describing some of the symptoms are like triggery to you, just heads up. I'm going to go through a couple of these. But some other ways you can tell where it's in your body: tight shoulders, right? Tight neck, tight lower back. That's where it is at. But everybody experiences it in a little bit of a different way, Echo. And so for you, just sitting back and just trusting what pops into your mind when you're sitting and trying to find it in your body is a really good place to start. Just like sit back, close your eyes, and we'll go through this again. We're going to cycle through this a couple times. So Echo, if you were not on here, I walked through this process just a moment ago. So we'll go back through it here again in a second. But how you can tell where it's at in your body is simply trusting your gut. You've got to trust that when you sit back and you're like, okay, take a deep breath. Where's it at in my body? Like right now, like just if I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking, I can feel mine's right here in my shoulders. It's right in my shoulder blades. I can feel it right now. Like they're just tight. And I just feel like I need to stretch and pop my neck, right? So that's my mind helping me label it. Does that make sense? You guys getting this? Any other questions? Does that make sense, Echo? Okay, thank you. Okay, sweet. Yeah. And Echo, if you want, we're also doing I don't know if you heard this, we're doing an Anxious to Action challenge this week. You might actually love to check that out. It's on our profile. It's on the link in our profile. And we're going to be talking a lot about that. I struggle with the destroying part. Okay, tell me some more about that. DDKG. What about hugging it instead? If that helps you release it and pull it out of your body and release it, cool. Some people, you could hug something. I call it destroy because I'm an aggressive human sometimes. So I think a hug would work. Being able to like hug it and just release it, but do something to let it go and release it, right? So if you want to hug it until it is able to evaporate and leave, cool. It doesn't have to be as aggressive as I make it sometimes. My bad. But okay, cool. Hell yeah, I'm glad. Good question. I like that. It's a good question. We're gonna be going through this here and again in a couple minutes. Got about a couple, like maybe a minute more or so of Q&A. If there's any other questions, I'm trying to pay attention across all the places. Dee. Hell yeah, and thank you for asking. Be sure to check out our Anxious to Action Challenge if it's something you're working on. It's in our profile. It's on our profile. Go check it out. Dee and Echo 2222. Oh, look at all the twos. I love it. Those are a lucky number for us as well. But yeah, I think you guys would love that. So if you haven't checked that out already, go check out the Anxious to Action Challenge. It's on our profile. All right, I'm going to go back and we're going to go back through the emotional release process here again. I'm going to talk a little bit about, if you've already been on here, awesome, you get to go through it again. I will for sure. Thanks. Hell yeah, Echo. Pumped up. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for asking your question. If you weren't on here for the first process, I'm about to cycle back through that, Echo. Heads up. But what we're doing now, let me go back. I will for sure. Okay, to my main screen so I can see myself. Cool. So if you weren't here earlier, what we're talking about today is destroying anxiety, right? And so one thing I like to bring up and mention about anxiety is that it is an often shunned emotion. Or a part of us that is shunned or exiled or pushed away, which sucks. It's a part of you that's trying to protect you. Whether or not you like it or not, that's what it's trying to do. And so a lot of the times when people are feeling intense anxiety or fear or different things like that, I like to really I like to ask them, well, what's going on? Like, why do you feel that way? Or how did it help you in the past? And so, you're an IFS guy. Oh, hell yes, I am. I'm down. Hell yes, I am. I love ISS. Yes, I am. But Dee, hell yeah. I freaking love it. Yes, I am. So IFS stands for Internal Family System. Yes, I am. I saw that. We'll get back to that. But it is a part of us that is shunned a lot and pushed away a lot. And so what happens when you push emotions like anxiety, it's a very, very powerful emotion. Anxiety is the fear of fear. And so when you take anxiety and you try to push it under the water, guess what? It's like a beach ball that you're trying to push underwater. It pops back up and erupts back up. And so anxiety, when you're thinking of what anxiety does in your body is when you're shoving all that energy back inside of you, it clenches up and braces itself for impact. And so you got to be careful. And so that's what's going on. And when that part of you, like anxiety, that you're pushing back down and ignoring and exiling, it doesn't want to go away, right? It's a little kid. It's a young little person, a little version of you that's like, hey, don't forget about me. Like, I was here to help you back in the day. Like, why are you exiling me? Why do you not want to talk to me now? And so when that's anxiety. And so for me, I was doing that for the longest time. Like over the last 2 years, I've been struggling with my own anxiety, like panic attacks and things like that. And I really had to get in touch and talk to that part of me and what's going on. And the moment I was able to start recognizing that, you just want to be heard and understood and validated and loved, now I can start to have a conversation with that part of me that felt anxious. And that was the first step that I took to kind of figure this process out and then start to realize that emotions are generated, stored, and felt in the body. And so the emotional release process we're about to go through to destroy anxiety is kind of what I found along my own journey of struggling with anxiety and some of the panic attacks and things like that. So it's a mixture of IFS, NLP, somatic experiencing. There's a lot of it that kind of comes in play that I like to put into this kind of stuff. And so that's actually what caused me to create the Anxious to Action Challenge, because people don't realize that anxiety, there's a lot of energy inside of anxiety. Anxiety and excitement neurologically are pretty similar. And so when I'm working with people around this stuff, helping them get into action seems impossible when I first start with them. But the power and the energy that is inside of the anxiety that you have can be put to powerful use. So, all right, let's talk through. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it, Echo. Let's go back through this process yet again. So if you weren't here for the first time, I'm gonna just big picture explain this. And so what this process is called, the emotional release process. It's one that I used when I was working through my own anxiety. And so the first step is to identify it and find it in your body. That's the first step that you want to go through, is figuring out, okay, where is this at in my body? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? What is it saying? What does it smell like, taste like? Whatever it is, your senses is the thing that you want to think about. And so when you're thinking about what it looks like, it could look like a younger version of you. It could look like a part of you that's like holding or like sheltering yourself, whatever it is. For me, it looks like a bunny rabbit with its eyes huge, and it's like terrified like that. That's what mine looks like. Sometimes when I'm feeling anxious and scared. And so find that. That's the first step, is to identify and find it in your body. Where's that in your body? A lot of the times people store anxiety in similar places, right? So your chest is a really good one. Your shoulders, your neck, lower back. Fear is in the back a lot of the times. And so, or like right in the front of your chest, it's like tightness up there. So it just kind of depends where you're at, what you're up to. And so when you're thinking about